have this program that prompts for a person's name. So I'll just type some input here. You can see that it's all uppercase. I want to try guessing on how I'm doing this.
Are you subtracting or adding 32 based on the character?
Yeah, that's one way to do it. We could pop the hood and see what's going on. Have strings to hold their name. Are you familiar with the two upper and two lower functions?
No, this is my first time seeing this.
Okay, it's essentially the same thing that you suggested as subtracting the ASCII code of the characters. But we have the first character of the first name is assigned the uppercase version of itself. Have you guys seen this notation of strings in lecture before?
Not in lecture. I am familiar with it though.
Yeah. We could basically treat strings as array of characters, and since the first element's 0, we have the first character is at 0. Do you have any questions on how this is working?
Nope.
Cool. Now we have for the rest of the characters, so the second character is at position 1. For the rest of them, we are assigning them the lowercase version of itself. Any questions so far?
Nope, I get it.
Cool. Yeah, and to upper and to lower are in the CC type library. So you can see that we're doing the same thing 3 times. Do you know of a way where we could clean this up?
I would think you could just nest another for loop, correct?
Um,
And then change the value at the end of the outer for loop
I'll wrap all
so
of
that
these
it
guys
became
in
the middle.
all of this in
Oh
one.
yeah, or that.
Um,
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was thinking, or no, I guess you wouldn't be able to do that. So no, I don't have an idea.
yeah. All of this can't be in one loop because they might be different lengths. We could actually write a function that formats a name. Have you guys seen functions in lecture?
Yeah, we just got the introduction to it the
Oh,
last day.
cool. Well, we've been doing or using functions a lot so far, like to upper, uh, the length function in a string to lower. We also used square root, absolute value, and we could write our own functions. And so far, we've only been writing the main function. What type of function do you want to try using for formatting a name? There are 2 types.
It would be void, right?
Yeah, we could try void. Where did you guys put your functions?
In between using namespace and the main int, just before the main function.
Yeah. Write the function definition here. And you said you wanted to try void.
Yeah.
And then we have the syntax goes with void and then the function name. We could name this one format. And for the arguments, what do you want to try?
Be first, middle, and last, correct?
Uh, we'll give it one string at a time. Let me give the function call as a hint, and then you could try writing the definition for us. We'll replace this with our function call. with a void function, that's what the call looks like. And the definition will need to match. What do you want to try here?
Could we just put name?
Yeah, we could have name. Do you know what this thing in the parentheses is called?
Not off the top of my head, no.
This is the formal parameter. And when we have, well, our list of arguments is the formal parameters, but we need to have its type first. In main, what was the type of first?
String.
Oh, the formal parameter needs to have the same data type. We need to put string before name here.
Gotcha.
And since it's void, do you know what that means?
It means it doesn't return a value.
Yeah. Do you know a way where we could change the value of first without returning a value from this function?
Well, since first is declared in the main function, wouldn't you be able to alter its value within the format function?
Yeah, and we could do that by passing by value or passing by reference. Do you know what that means?
No idea.
If we pass by reference, which is the way we want to go with a void function here, the syntax will need to put an ampersand here. But when we pass by reference, whatever happens to the formal parameter happens to the actual parameter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it basically they share the same memory location.
Yeah. Any changes we do to name will happen to first here. Let's format it real quick, and then we'll try out the other way we could do this. Do you remember the function that gives us the uppercase version of a character?
It was 2 upper, right?
And then how do we set the rest of the characters to lowercase?
That was for loop.
Yeah. Do you know the range we want to go through?
1 to the size of the value given.
Yeah.
Or the string given, name, I guess.
How do we set those guys to lowercase?
To lower.
Yeah. With that function definition up there, we could have the function calls in main. Any questions so far?
Nope.
If you remember how this program originally looked, there was a lot of repeating stuff. Functions let us help simplify the main code. What we could actually do is move this function below main. Have you guys seen that before?
Yeah, and then you have to put a I can't remember what it is.
The prototype? Yeah. Let's move the function definition below main. And then, do you know what the prototype looks like?
I can't remember.
This heading here. And then we could remove the identifier from the parameters and just put a semicolon after it.
Gotcha.
That's what the That's the prototype, prototype, function calls, and then the function definition, which we have down below main. And there was another type of function that we could do other than void. Do you remember what that was?
It was value.
Yeah, a value returning function. We've used those before, like square root, absolute value. Do you know how the syntax goes?
Yeah, I mean it would be int name, or int identifier.
The return type is the first thing we put, and it could be an integer, it could be a float or a double, or a string. And in this case, we want to use a string. Let's actually work on the call first, and then it should give you a hint on how the definition is going to look. Since these functions, the new format function is going to be returning a value, it can't be a standalone statement. Our function is going to be given first, it's going to format it, and then we're going to assign it back to our variable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll change. We could actually just edit this guy. So instead of void, what type should this return? If we look at the call.
String.
Yeah. And now we don't actually want to pass it by reference, because do you remember what passing by reference does?
That's what changed the variables as you used it in the function.
Yeah. But we're not doing that now. So it'll just be given, name is given the value of first, a copy of the value, and we format it, and now we actually want to return it back. And that should be it. We have our function below main. Do you remember what we need to do if we want to keep it there?
The prototype.
Yeah. We just have the heading, and then we could get rid of the identifiers if we want to.